tits, bitch.
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to episode 64 of the best horror podcast on 7voltmedia.com and the world. Scream Fiends. I'm your host, Alex, and with me once again is Russ.
Hey, everybody.
If you're just joining us for the first time on this show, we talk about all the things going on in the world of horror, and if you're a long-time listener, you know we oftentimes don't follow by any sort of guideline ruled books, but except for our Grand Master book. We would die without this book.
Our Necronomicon.
Yes, Necronomicon. And every week is the biggest train wreck in the history of the world.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No. You be the judge. Get at us on Twitter at ScreamFiends.com. Let us know what you're watching, what you want us to watch, what you think of our movie of the week. Because each week on Scream Fiends, we watch a new movie and
Talk about it.
talk about it.
Yep. We voice our opinion on it.
Yep.
Our
We have a
very educated opinion.
very educated. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can donate if you would like, but you do not have to every week. Podcast, audio, and video is free always, but we would love your donation to get better equipment, better everything.
Yeah. We got.
Yeah.
I mean, our mics are okay. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
We got a good sound setup right now.
Yeah.
We'd be nice if we had like a camera.
Yeah.
And
Then I could check stuff and
like I do.
do stuff, that kind of thing, but whatever. Find us on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you've already found us. Congratulations, you win.
It is victory.
Yay. Yay.
A nice victory for you.
Anything else? I can't think of anything else.
No.
I feel like I nailed that one.
But it was almost too good. You know what I mean? Like you're there's something blaring.
Well, it wasn't completely flowing and all that, but I think I remembered everything. I got everything covered.
You forgot it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Just kidding. That was in March.
Speaking of Patreon, if you are a $5 and up Patreon, we just got in these beautiful Scream Fiends postcards. We will be sending out to the $5 and up patrons.
Yep.
Personalizing them, drawing pictures, writing love notes. You know, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So,
$5.
$5 and up, you get Scream Fiends postcard, art by Russ and Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just draw pictures on all of them, like individual pictures.
I'm totally drawing pictures. It's gonna be awesome.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
Hey, that spider's back. See him right there?
I like it.
That guy just keeps hanging
He's
out.
hanging out. We should hang like a little itty. We should travel to Japan and buy like the smallest little microphone we can find and strap it to its little body, and it can just hang there. Be like an overhead boom mic.
So, Tiny Spider, what do you think of this movie of the week? We can't hear you.
All right. As we always sometimes start, Russ, what have you been watching, playing, etc., etc., etc.?
I have finally partaken in Danganronpa, and it's
The
awesome.
best video game franchise ever.
I'm not going to go that far.
The best fucked
Visual
up
novel.
Yes, the best visual
novel video game ever.
Puzzle, courtroom simulator,
It is everything
murder
that
mystery.
Ace Attorney's wishes it was. Basically, it's like Ace Attorney for fucked up people that like fucked up, really crazy, dark humor.
Yeah, I'm glad you finally taken the plunge because usually it's just the man upstairs and myself
and Aaron's
talking
into
endlessly.
it.
Yeah, I don't know if Aaron's finished
Yeah.
the first one, but
It took me forever to get into it. Finally did,
Hmm.
and then it took me for like a couple as I was playing, I'm like, this is boring. I'm just clicking around listening to these stories, and they're not. Oh, they're getting interesting. Oh, this just got real. Oh shit! Somebody just died.
someone just got impaled by a bunch of spikes.
I mean, it comes on. It's deceiving because it feels like it's taking forever, but it does come on pretty quick, actually.
Yeah,
and the story's really cool.
I haven't played a lot of these Japanese like graphic or visual novel type games. I'm going through the Nonary game collection right now, and it's sort of the same thing, so it makes me wonder if that's just sort of part of it, like a kind of a slow build up to sort of set the scene, kind of.
And honestly, like the actual gameplay aspect of it is it's difficult to keep me with what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the story's interesting enough, and like the gameplay aspects during the trial parts is fun.
Yep.
But it's got that fucking dating sim shit that I hate. I fucking hate it. But what's cool is it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
It's just you get to the point. It's not like it's but like it's like I just want to. I might set it to easy just so I can bust through this story as fast as I can.
And it's not like Persona where like the social links or social whatever actually matter. Like you don't
you
get
anything.
skills.
You get skills from getting your ranks
That's
up with
true.
people.
I
You
forgot
get
about
skills.
that. Yeah, so they kind of do, I guess.
Yeah, they do matter, but like
it's not the same way though. It's like
you
can get through the game just fine without any of the skills, really.
as long as you're paying attention when you gotta like get your evidence and whatnot.
Right,
it seems.
right.
But yep. It's cool. I don't think I'll really get into other visual novels so much. I mean, it depends. I haven't gone back to it yet, just because I've been playing other things, and that's my problem. It's like I want to play a video game when I'm sitting down to play a video game, and right now, well, like that game, you're sitting down to read a book on a screen, and
Basically,
it's just like,
yeah.
I don't feel like doing this right now. I want to shoot arrows at things or jump on things, or so it's just like what I think I'm gonna do with that game is on the weekends when I have like when the kids are taking a nap or something, I got like a good 2-3 hour chunk to sit down and like get into it.
Yeah, and I'm going through the same thing with so I got through 999 and now I'm on Virtue's Last Reward, and it's kind of the same deal where it's like this game has a lot more branching paths than 999, but it's all like the same events happening in each of the branching paths. So it's like, man, I got to sit here and hit X to go through dialogue over and over again. And so, yeah, I
think it needs, for me, I need to be in the right mindset to really get into it. I think it's a great story and it's a lot of fun. I still feel funny calling it a video game only because you're not like doing anything.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the
fact that you're playing on a video game system.
Well, and there's sort of like investigative elements when you're free roaming or whatever, and then the class trial, obviously. But yeah, for the most part, it is just pure story.
Yep, and it is good and interesting though. I just feel like when I sit down when I want to read a book, I'm just gonna play that instead. So I'll probably put Lovecraft on back burner for a little while. Drunk Ground Grampins.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. I think that if you don't borrow it, buy it. You'll enjoy it.
Definitely.
I'm gonna probably go out. I mean, despite my hang-ups with it just being a visual novel, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna probably buy it because
it is like a good movie, like because it's essentially like reading a book, but you have like awesome animation going on at the same time.
Yeah, the animation's really I like the animation, I like the artwork.
Yeah.
It's got, like I was saying before, it's got it's like a cross between Vanillaware and like traditional anime.
Yeah, it's got a very awesome unique style to it. It's very cool. Check it out if you are
I don't
PS4 or Vita owner, or even a PSP owner, because that's their original
Steam
home.
too, isn't it?
Now they are also on Steam, so you have no excuse. Get Danganronpa.
It is awesome.
Yes.
It is very good. I can't wait to see more. Monokuma is hilarious. I just like when he pops in random spots, just like give you just random details about shit. Like, oh yeah, that door's locked. You can't go in there right now. It's just like, where did you fucking come from?
Yep.
But the music cues and stuff in that game are awesome too. Like they're sitting around at breakfast, and then the gothic Lolita character Celeste chimes in with some crazy line that's like, you know you're gonna die, right? But she says it so like emotionless, and then the music changes suddenly. I found it to be very creepy. Actually, like it was giving me like chills, like at certain points, in that story. So I think it's very impactful, and so I am gonna play through it some more, and it is good.
Yeah, just wait until you get into Danganronpa 2.
Even better.
It gets far off the planet.
Is it an actual sequel?
Yes, and yeah, I would say it's. You could play the second one on its own, but you're definitely not going to get
some of the references,
especially towards the end.
All right.
But yeah, play both of them. They're worth it. They're only about 10 hours a piece.
Are they 10 hours a piece?
I would say.
Okay, see, I like that though. That actually makes me feel a lot better about it too, because I was also getting this feeling like, this is cool, but how long is this going to be?
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours, I guess, depending on
how well you do.
and if you kind of fast forward dialogue, I guess.
Because it's not all voice acted, is it?
No, during I think your daily.
Oh yeah, they just say like
free
hey,
roam, yeah.
And then the one guy's like shit.
Yeah.
When you're like so.
Yep.
So you can like fast forward, but make sure you read the dialogue. Otherwise.
It's great dialogue.
What do you think about the mechanic though of shooting words at words to
truth bullets?
The truth bullets. What do you think of that? Like, what do you think about that being used as the, you have to interrupt.
Yeah.
So now I was I was trying to get that at first, but it would just play through the dialogue and then stop and say. And then you'd have a little thing like your character would be like, well, that doesn't seem right because this. And then it would replay what everybody just said.
Yeah.
Now, in the later trials, will they replay that? If you miss it, is that it?
No, because when you also, no, I know what you're talking about now. Like if you don't hit anything and it has to start over. I'm pretty sure it just does that. And then if you get something wrong, then you lose But
you can just let it play through?
I believe so.
Because there's I know at one point because they're teaching you how to do this, and then they're showing you how it can get more difficult even. And so they're showing one where it's you could have 3 different truth bullets, and it only works with one phrase, which might be in the middle, the beginning, middle, or end of the actual debate.
It gets really tough because there'll be multiple characters, and each one has different things you can select. So it's you gotta think back to what happened, think back to the clues, and then pick hopefully the right one. Most of them are common sense, it doesn't make you think that hard, but
sure
there are some that are
but the whole case in general is really involves a lot of critical thinking. I think that could actually be used for that kind of thing could be used for all sorts of things. I'd like to see more of this kind of thing, but in different aspects, maybe a Lovecraftian investigation one.
Sure.
Or maybe a, even just a normal crime scene that's not set in goofball anime land. Or just to see that in other ways. I'm sure these things exist, but somewhere, a more high buck deal like this Danganronpa and stuff. But yeah, I liked it a lot. That's one thing I've been doing. I haven't played Dark Souls.
Sweet.
I haven't played it. Been playing Zelda, but that's not really scary. There's some scary stuff in that though. Like some skeletons come out at night and shit.
The fact that you have to play it on a Switch is kind of scary.
That doesn't scare me because you don't.
Well,
have
I
to
guess
play
you
on a
don't have
Switch.
to play it on a Switch.
play it
You
on
can
a
play
Wii
it
U.
on Wii U. That's even more frightening. But
Oh, I love the Switch. It's sweet because it's like, well, we're sitting around watching some stupid fucking movie with the kids, and they're not. It's like, I don't want to watch this movie. I'm playing Zelda, up on my, on the actual thing like this.
yeah.
Then it's like, oh, kids are going to bed. Okay, Oliver, go to sleep. Grab my thing back up. Go downstairs. Throw it in the slot. Boom, it's on the TV.
Is it as seamless as they've made it seem to be? Because I've played it on my TV, but I haven't done the whole like playing it on the go and then putting it on the
pretty
TV
slick.
and then
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Now, if your TV, you can pair it to your TV, so your TV will turn on based on the current status of your Switch. So if your
really?
Switch is on, your TV will turn on.
Oh,
So if your TV's off and you put it in there now, obviously then you have to wait for your TV to boot up or whatever. But,
Yeah.
but God, TVs boot up now. Isn't that crazy?
yeah. Smart TVs.
I still have a cathode ray tube TV at home though. I need that for my light gun games.
It's gonna give you cancer.
What?
I don't know.
Oh,
Radiation. Cathode rays.
is that what they do?
Is that how TVs work? Are we?
No,
are
it just
we?
projects an image. That's
Are
what
we
it does.
smart? Yes. Yes, we are smart. We know what TVs do.
But what else? I don't know. I mean, I watched something, but you watched it too. I think we should both talk about that together.
Yes.
So, but
So there's a couple things we can talk about together, but
that's the main stuff that I've done that you didn't also do.
yeah.
So you're up. What did you do?
So so the only thing I've done besides like what we are going to talk about is I've subscribed to now I'm gonna Shudder.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah,
Cool.
Shudder.
You got it.
Because I saw I was going through my apps because I hooked up my PS4 to my big TV, so now I don't have to use my Xbox One at all, basically.
Trade it in for Magic cards.
And then so I was downloading all the Netflix and Hulu and Amazon.
And
Then
Shudder's
I
on
saw-
PS4?
Yeah, I saw a Shudder down there like for the app. So I was like, oh, what the heck? I'll check it out. And it's like $4 a month.
Okay, $4 a month. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's even cheaper if you go to like Shudder.com. I hope I'm thinking of the right one because I know there's a couple, but I believe it's Shudder. And then Shudder.com/PlayStation, you get it for like $250 a month
For how long?
if you do an annual thing.
Oh, wow. So it's just they lock you in at that price?
You have to. It's like
And
$29
A year?
a year. Yeah, so it's like $250. But yeah, you get locked in
the service
there.
is just horror movies.
Yeah. But now here is the caveat. There's not a whole lot of good stuff on there.
Oh, so basically just stick to Netflix.
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of like more schlocky stuff that you wouldn't find on Netflix and Hulu and all that.
Netflix is only schlock. It is only
But this is
schlock.
like another level of schlock. Like
mean,
this is stuff
Zombievers
like
1,
this is
Zombievers
stuff
2.
I have never ever heard of. Like
So it's like B schlock.
B schlock.
B schlock.
Yeah.
Well, I might
Um,
actually like that then.
It does have some. It had Audition,
Really?
which was pretty much the only thing I saw that was somewhat recognizable. But then it does have like classic movies as well. Like it had Night of the Living Dead on there.
Cool.
Can't think of the other ones.
The
it had,
colored
but
version or the black and white version?
I think it was the black and white version, but it's public domain, so if they didn't have it, they'd be insane. But yeah, so it has classics, but otherwise it's like, I don't know, like some of that stuff I don't even want to spend the time to watch.
See, like there's a couple there's that Anchor Bay you can get from Amazon. You can sign up for Anchor Bay on Amazon Prime, so you get a bunch of their stuff.
So
Blue
I
Moon,
wonder,
I think, has one too. Not Blue Moon. Is it Blue Moon?
Dark Moon. No. I'm thinking of Dark Castle.
There's Anchor Bay. There's something Moon. I don't remember what it is.
Why do I want to say Dark Moon? I know it's Dark Castle.
Blue Moon's a beer. What is this damn?
But yeah, so I'm debating on. I'm just in the 7-day trial right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna stick. Even though it's like $4 a month, like I don't really care about that. Like that's something that I could have forever, and then just completely forget that it's taking $4 out of my account every month. Like whatever, it's not a big deal. Or if I'm paying yearly, then it's not even a thing. But yeah, so I don't know. If you subscribe to Shudder, or there's another one, I can't think of what it is, but if you are a subscriber to either of those, let us know what you think of it. Like if you have any recommendations from what's on their current lineup. Because if there's something good on there, I want to watch it. I just don't really feel like doing the searching. And if you know of any other service that's strictly horror related, let us know. We'd love to check it out. Yeah.
For sure.
You ever find that moon?
No. I just looked up like top 10 horror movie production companies. I remember there being like a blue something though.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, it really makes me mad.
Yeah, it's like one of those brain fart moments when it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't think of what it is. It happens to me all the time with actors' names and all that. But whatever.
If we were outside talking right now, I know it.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, we can get into what we've both kind of been doing.
Which one do you want to start with?
Sundered. Out now on PS4. It is basically a combination of yours and mine, like, favorite kind of things combined into one
it's just
game.
Like somebody made that for me.
Yeah. So it's got the Lovecraftian universe.
Yep.
And it's a Metroidvania style game. So you start out with like your basic attack. You have like I don't even know what it is. It's some sort of like
looks like part of your cape or something.
Yeah.
Almost, and it like turns into a blade.
Yeah. And you can only single jump, and then from there you build your skills, and eventually you can do all sorts of crazy shit.
You get double jump.
Yep.
And things like that. You get like downward slam attacks and stuff. So yeah, but you need to get these abilities so that you can explore further.
Yeah.
So that's the Metroid aspect of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
It's got this
smooth too.
It's got this
everything is hand drawn.
Amazing hand drawn art style. Yeah.
Oh man, it is.
And like even like so dodge rolling over enemies, like the animations are just so
it's
flawless.
It's very
like
fluid and slick, and like the only thing I noticed was frame drop.
Yeah, there are moments. It's not even like when there's a lot of action on screen. It's like it just kind of hiccups every now and then,
which is weird.
Yeah, because I don't think
it's so fun.
I don't think the frame rate necessarily drops. It's just it hits like I don't know if it's loading or what it is.
Because that's the other thing that's cool about the game is it is procedurally generated.
Yeah, for the most, I mean,
it's got main rooms that you're going to hit every playthrough, but the one aspect of the rooms, like the gray rooms or whatever, they change every time you turn the game
so it
on.
seems like it has like a main path, and then rooms coming off that main path are all procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does have that aspect. Every time you die, you start from your base, which is like this, I don't know, this like temple type thing.
With like 2 staircases that kind of come up.
Yeah, and so that's where you level up and get skills and all that.
And then so that's cool too. It's got like a leveling up tree kind of thing. That's kind of fun. You trace it around like, okay, if you want this skill, you got to hit these nodes on the way there.
Yep.
And then you got that. What was the thing in the middle? You can pick 3 skills.
Perks.
Perks.
So you collect perks throughout, either from bigger enemies, tougher enemies, or there's like these weird
tentacle, coral, weird.
Yeah,
things.
they're called like treasure chest type things, but
You smash them.
Yeah, you smash them, and you get these orbs that you can then spend on your abilities.
Yep, and it's cool too because they have they all come with a negative trait as well.
Yeah, the perks do.
Yeah, the perks, and so it's cool. Like the one that we were looking at, it's like you get like 40 more shield, but your hit points are 1.
Your health is
so
1.
if you if your shield ever drops all the way, you're just dead.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's a lot of shield though, because it took at least with these really low level creatures, it took a lot to get that shield down.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was getting on there are things all over the screen, and I'm taking hits, but it took a lot for that shield to finally come down. But
yeah, so they call those hordes, and it's so awesome. Like the sound, like the music and the sound is so great because when the horde is coming, you'll hear this almost like this siren in the background, and then it'll be like, oh shit, something's coming. And then just, this wave of robot laser shooting
monsters, and then like tentacly monsters, and then sometimes combinations of tentacly and
these like floating spheres that shoot at you and explode. Like
it's cool.
Yeah,
I really can't wait to like actually purchase that. But that's going to be a contender for me for sure. I mean, it hits everything that I love. It like all of my favorite parts in video games.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
stories and settings and stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fairly long too. I think like 16 hours.
No
or so
shit that's awesome
for a digital game. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
$20
right now too. I mean, I think it's a little bit cheaper too if you get it on other sites. But I think PS4 was on sale.
Yeah.
See now,
I don't know how long that's lasting though.
I'll be honest with you. Wish this shit was coming on the Switch. I'd get it on the Switch.
It would be kind of cool to play. Although there is a lot going on, so I don't know if you kind of want a bigger screen when there's that much action happening.
Sure.
But I mean, there's plenty of games that are on
the Switch. You can do that. You can put it right on your TV.
Sure.
But I don't. I just when it comes to like old school style games, not necessarily graphically, but like play wise, I'm gonna anything like that if it's coming across all 2 systems because the Xbox doesn't exist. If it's PS4 or Switch, I'm going Switch. But all my bigger titles I'll go PS4.
Sure. Well, this isn't a video game podcast, even though
but I really wish that Sundered came out on the Switch. That'd be sweet.
Who knows? It might.
Yeah, I'd buy it again. I'd pay $60 for that game. Would you pay $60 for Symphony of the Night? Because you did if you bought it back in the day. So I mean,
yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I'd pay. That's what I think I love about like nowadays with like these indie companies coming out. I mean, it's like you got these people who really care about what they're making and then releasing it for $20.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of the problem is that if they released it for $60, nobody'd buy it because they would consider, that's not a AAA game.
I think we're out of that sort of mindset though, because I mean, I buy most of my games digitally, to be honest. Like, once I got Amazon Prime, then I started getting more physical copies just because you get that discount.
Yeah.
But I'm so bad at impulse buying that if I see a game that I want it right now. Like, so I'll just download anything like that. But
sure.
Yeah, I think the separation between like digital games and your full-on like games you would expect to get a physical release, that line is kind of blurred now.
What I mean though is like what is considered AAA.
Oh,
compared to like back in the day, a game like this would be AAA. I mean, a Castlevania game, that's big news, But nowadays, that Castlevania game is this sprawling, open world map barf thing that if it doesn't have 60 hours of gameplay, people feel like they didn't get a deal.
Right.
And so I think that like that's why. Like, I think that game is worth $60. But, like, some of the shit coming out now that's considered AAA, I'm like, wow, I would not pay $60 for that,
Yeah, I mean, look at Mass Effect Andromeda. Like,
that would be considered a AAA game, right?
yes, and look at how much better
Sundered
is and looks. Like, Mass Effect Andromeda does have some decent environments, but their characters are like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Now, let's do this, though. Let's make a fair comparison. What about Sundered versus, like, Mass Effect 1 and 2 and 3? I mean, would you say the same, though? Because, I mean, Andromeda is just a bad game.
Yeah.
But Mass Effect 1 and 2 were not bad games.
Sure. I guess I'm saying, like, the smaller team that created Sundered did a better job of making a quality product as opposed to this giant, well, relatively giant studio with hundreds of developers making the game.
Sure.
And granted, it is a more complex system, but still, like,
I don't know. I think, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going there. Yeah. Let's see. Sundered, great. Get it. I'm getting it.
Yes.
Holy shit, I'm getting that game.
So the other...
I mean, if I didn't own a PS4, I would buy a PS4 for that game. And I played it for like 20 minutes.
I've been waiting for a good, like, Metroidvania game to come out. Like, we've had some middling sort of games that are they're almost Metroidvania games.
You should get Cave Story on your Switch, dude.
I don't know about that.
It's like $30.
Whatever.
There's rabbits in it. But yeah, so Sundered, get it.
Yes. So the other thing we both partook in.
Oh, fuck.
Room 104 has premiered on HBO.
Don't watch that show.
Last Sunday. And man,
don't watch it. It's too scary. No, it's not. It really isn't. I don't know why. I mean, when I think back and think about what I watched, I'm like, why did that freak me out so much?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, what's so scary about that?
It's so okay. We're gonna talk about this episode. So if you haven't watched it yet, pause right now. Go watch it. It's 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then come back. And
if you're in your car or not by your TV, just turn us off. I mean, that's probably a bad thing to say, but turn us off. Yeah. Watch this show because we are gonna spoil the fuck out of it right now.
All right, that's your warning.
1, 2, 3, go! Holy shit!
So it wasn't anything that I wasn't really expecting.
Everything was predictable as shit in that show.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not everything, but like. When it got to the end, I'm like, I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I know what they're going to do with this.
Right.
But, like,
I guess, so the premise of the show is it all takes place in this one hotel room.
It's your gig, man. It's an anthology.
Yes, but each episode is going to be a different story. They just happen to take place in the same hotel room. And this first one is all about this babysitter going to watch this kid while his dad goes out
on a date.
Well, so there you go right there. The dad doesn't say he's going out on a date.
Sure.
But
that's what I assumed that's what I assumed.
This is a thing, like there are so many levels to this that factor into like I think what causes the uneasiness and sort of creepiness of it.
Yeah.
Because okay, so let's just go through it and then we'll go back.
Sounds good.
Come back around. So the dad leaves. Babysitter is watching the kid is in the bathroom and she's just kind of like, "Hey, you want to come out?" And
the dad tells her right away that the kid's got an imagination.
Yeah, an overactive imagination. Yeah.
So she goes over to the door to say, "Hey, do you want to come out?"
Mm.
And the door's like cracked,
Yeah.
open just a little bit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it goes, wham, slams right in her face.
Mm.
And she goes, "Ralph, why would you do that?" And then he comes out, "It wasn't me, it was Ralphie." And you get like the first experience of like this kid talking about like what you assume is his imaginary friend Ralphie, who's very mean and nasty, but Ralph isn't like that.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of this, like it comes across as like, oh, this is just a typical like kid with an imaginary friend. Like there's nothing overtly psychotic about it or worrying about it at this point. But as it goes on, there's...
Well, I mean, so what you have is like the kid's hungry, and she's like, okay, so they're having pizza and this and that, and they're talking on the bed, and then Ralphie comes up. She goes, oh well, let's talk to him. She goes, hey Ralphie, or something like that, and he's like, no, and he like lunges at her and tries to cover her mouth.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's not appropriate, and blah blah blah. Tries to get out, and he goes, oh no, you woke him up. I gotta go talk to him now, and so he goes in there. And he starts screaming and shit,
Yep.
And she stands up and whatever. And then all of a sudden, Ralph comes out, and he's got just his underwear on and a cape.
Yes.
And attacks her.
Chases her around, yeah.
Yeah, chasing her around this end. She's like, what the fuck? And then Ralphie comes back out. I'm sorry about that, And she's like, so she figures he's just playing a game. And okay, let's go to bed. So he's laying there in the other bed. She's in the other bed. And then they start talking.
Well, and he tells her that whenever his dad goes out on dates, that he's always late. Like he never comes back, because he tells her, the babysitter, that he's gonna be back at 10, and then eventually it's like 10:15, and she's texting him, and
he keeps telling her he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Then she goes, well, could we talk a little bit? I never get to talk to girls. So she goes, okay, what do you want to talk about? Sex.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. It's just like it's like this kid, man, he's got a very Danny Torrance feeling to him, and it's like
right. Yeah, so
Ralphie.
Yeah.
But
so she has that awkward conversation of like, well, it should be your dad that talks about this and all that, and then he talks about the story of what happened to his mom.
No, he tells her the story of what happens to his mom. It's the story that they tell people.
Yeah.
So they tell people that their mother, that his mom, so the father and the son. Okay, so Ralph tells her that they tell the story of her mom as she went into a closet and hung herself.
Yeah.
To get away from the sadness and whatever. But that's not what really happened.
Yeah, so the way he baits this, it's like, so he asks her if he can... She tells him after the whole sex conversation that he needs to go to bed, and he's like, well, can I tell you one story or something like that? And she's like, okay, just one. And then so he tells this, and it's like, obviously she's going to want to know, like, the real story if he's saying that this is the made-up part. And so, then he tells her what actually happened.
I forget now.
Ralphie killed her.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, I figured it was that, but did he go into details?
I don't think so. I think he just said that Ralphie killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's not funny. Or something. And then he gets loud again.
Yep.
And he goes, oh, no, you woke him up again. And so then he goes back in there, and he comes out, and so does Ralphie.
Well, no. Ralph... Oh, that's right. They both come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're standing... So there are actually two of them.
They're standing slightly off center of each other, and
Yep.
And Ralph goes, I'm sorry, I just can't. He overpowered me. And then he attacks Ralph. And what it looks like he kills Ralph. Ralphie kills Ralph by smothering with a pillow.
Yep.
And then he goes after, and then she tries to save him, but he hits her in the nose.
She's called the cops at this point.
Yep. Called the cops, but then they struggle, and he's trying to he's straddling her and trying to choke her out.
Yep.
But her arms are longer, so she starts choking him, and then manages to roll over on top of him and chokes him to death. Chokes Ralphie to death.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was happening right now. I knew exactly what was going to happen. She's going to look over at that bed. Well, what happens is the father comes and goes, "What have you done? What have you done? Oh, breathe." And Ralph is in his arms, and you look over at the bed, and there's nobody there.
Yep. She
just killed Ralph.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, I mean, you could see it was going to happen, but watching her like try to process this, like he attacked me and like
Yeah, her face is all bloody.
Her face is bloody, and I mean, obviously Ralph would have hit her too if she was trying, because she like losing her mind in there.
Right.
And whatever. So then Ralph, so Ralph is dead, and the father's like, "Why would you do this? Please breathe." And he's like crying, and you hear the cops coming.
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh man, that was fucked up." And then it gets worse. Within the last 5 seconds of that episode, it gets worse.
Yeah, it's got the camera on her face as like this,
like it's coming at you like this.
Yep, this like bewildered, like what the fuck is going on moment,
yep. And you're just waiting for it to fade out.
Yep.
But blurry in the background, you can see the bathroom doors open again.
Yep.
And it's
right at the last moment, the door slams. And then it's like, well, what?
And so it just leaves you with that.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
So it makes you question, was there actually a Ralphie, or was she crazy the entire time?
Yeah. Or did she go crazy because room 104?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, if she was the crazy one, how much of it was real and how much was in her head?
Right.
So I'm thinking that she was probably crazy the entire time, because when she originally gets to the hotel and the dad is leaving.
Don't you want to see my references?
Yes, and that to me was a big red flag. Like, why would you go out of your way to like want to show your references? Like, I understand like that's a thing, but she's already there. She's already clearly like hired to be there. So why now bring up, do you want to see my references? Almost like an over offer, like over like sharing of information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's just like I see her going with that. And it makes sense, like that she was probably crazy the whole time. So she's just like, you just wonder if has she been doing this.
Yeah.
Is this her first time and finally got caught or something, you know? But like, I mean, you'll never know.
No,
and then, so that's like, I think that's part of the uneasiness too.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, then did she imagine the whole like sex conversation? Because that was completely like out of the norm, like for a kid to be talking about.
Well, because I always hear my dad talk about it, but he won't tell me what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and just like,
it's just the entire situation was a red flag.
Everything
like,
was just odd about that.
Yeah.
I mean, secondly, is like, why are they in a hotel?
True, yeah.
I mean, like, what the hell, you know?
Well, then the thing about the mom getting killed, like, is that all, like, in her head she's imagining this scenario of a kid with his dad, the mom's not present, so...
Or maybe Ralphie exists. And
Yeah.
Ralphie maybe she did hang herself in the closet because Ralphie made her do it.
Mm.
Maybe, you know, Ralphie tried to get her to kill
Right.
Ralph, but it didn't work out the way it was supposed to, and then she killed them both. Or maybe Ralphie's not dead and he's just like a monster or something that lives in room 104 or something. Who knows? But it was fucking good though. It like creeped me out really
Very
good.
good.
So yeah, fuck that show. I think I sent over our text thing. I was like, fuck you and fuck that show. I was like, I'm gonna sleep now.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, like, from this initial episode, like, how good the rest of the series is going to be.
I saw you see previews for a couple might be other episodes. I saw one where like it looked like two like MMA fighters were fighting in the room.
Oh, really?
I'm just like, what the fuck is this show going to be? So I'm going to stick with it. I'm gonna see what
for
it does.
sure.
And my favorite part about the show, 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they have, like, throwbacks to previous episodes, like if the room has maybe like minor little details that were present from other stories.
Oh, just like
in
Easter
the other
eggs.
episoce- Yeah, Easter eggs
That'd
in
be cool.
the other episodes.
I like that
so,
idea.
yeah, watch Room 104. It's definitely 25 minutes worth it first episode is completely fucked up, so
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Really, we got no news, really. I'd like to bring up 2 quick Lovecraftian things. Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams are working on something with HBO for some Lovecraft shit. I haven't really looked into it. I just keep seeing like that headline.
I feel like there's Lovecraft stuff going on. Like, we've been hearing about Lovecraft projects going on for a while now, and we haven't seen any come to fruition yet. So I don't know.
I think Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams being on a Lovecraft project with HBO means it's probably going to happen.
As long as Damon Lindelof isn't involved.
Oh, Dingle Ding Bongs? Yeah, if he, hopefully... Ick. Yeah,
Although...
I like the idea that Jordan Peele's producing it, but like having J.J. Abrams on does make me a little nervous.
Yeah. I was going to say, although The Leftovers is a fantastic show, and Damon Lindelof is involved in that, so...
Well, you liked Lost, too, didn't you?
Yeah, until the last couple of seasons.
David Lynch.
That finale.
But the other thing that I noticed was this, The Ballad of Black Tom. And it's a book that Victor Laval wrote, as I'm reading it here. I'm trying to remember these names. But he's like the street musician guy that did a job where he delivered some weird piece to somebody.
Okay.
It gets drawn into this Lovecraftian world. And the author of this book is actually helping make this TV series.
Oh,
it's going to be on AMC, I believe.
Oh.
Yep, AMC's Ballad of Black Tom will get caught in Lovecraftian conspiracy.
I like
Check out the article on
it.
Bloody Disgusting.
Yeah. So I actually got a bunch of stuff here. We can just run down it real quick. It won't take long. I don't think.
Down it. Go.
All right. Friday the 13th is getting a physical release on, of course, Friday the 13th, October 13th. Physical release.
Boo. No, I'd probably buy it. You know, despite that, I might not even play it ever again. I might buy it anyways just because, hey.
I want that single player to come out.
Good job, guys. That was a great game. I'm sorry that the world sucks and people can't just do things right.
Yep. Apparently, Kane Hodder is doing motion capture to do more kills, more unique kills.
Oh, cool.
They're going to have new maps.
Doesn't matter, though, because people are still just going to whack you with an axe and you die because they don't want to lose. They don't want it to look
that
cool.
pocket knife.
They just want you to lose.
Yeah.
You know.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I'm going to grab you and do something. Oh, I got pocket knifed again. I remember getting pocket knifed by one person twice. They had 2 pocket knives.
There's going to be like new bloody skins for each of the Jasons. I don't know what that means exactly, but probably blood splattered.
Did they fix
skins,
some of the bugs? Like if you do the punch a hole in their chest animation, and then he lets them go, they actually fall and so just hang in midair.
That game has plenty of problems, but it's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Night Trap.
Yeah.
On
August
PS4
8th.
and PC.
I think it's August 8th that's coming out.
I thought it was August. Is it August 8th or is it August 11th?
Maybe it's August 11th. But yeah.
August
Night
8th
Trap.
is a Tuesday, so that may be the case.
Okay.
But yeah, it's getting a physical release of 5,000 copies for the standard edition and 3,000 for the special deluxe, whatever.
It'd be cool if if it works on the PS4 or the Sega CD. Like you could plug it into the Sega CD and it'd still work.
Yeah. I think the deluxe, it's coming in like a
Sega CD box.
Sega CD, well, kind of replica of the original Sega CD box.
Sure.
And then I think it comes with like a cassette tape soundtrack.
Oh, cool.
I want to say.
So, do you have to pre-order this from like their site? Then you can't go to like a GameStop.
There are no pre-orders.
Oh.
I think it's just as soon as it goes live, you have to get in there and buy it.
I'm not gonna do that. Is it digitally for? You can get it digitally for the PS3.
Pretty
I
sure
imagine?
it's.
No, just do that.
Yeah, pretty sure it's digital.
I'm
as
not
well.
gonna sit there and play that game. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I just want it out of like.
Oh, I'd love to own it.
Historic, like in video games.
I'm not gonna set myself up for that kind of like heartbreak. Oh, okay. I'm waiting on my computer. Oh, they all sold out. Shit.
Yeah. No,
I wonder how many people are going to get Night Trap, really.
Well, 5,000 really isn't that many copies.
But I don't even think 5,000 Sega CDs sold. I'm just kidding. I probably more than that.
Yeah. No, and it is like the nostalgia factor and the history factor. Like, there's going to be lots of people just getting it off that basis alone.
Sure.
But, yeah, and it also depends on how much it is. They haven't, as far as I've seen, I don't know price. But if it's like $100 for the deluxe edition, there's no way I'm paying that.
Yeah.
Like, the game is not, it's not a great game, so.
No.
Not worth $100. Broad Green Pictures is shuttering their production division. Now, this is a production studio responsible for The Green Room, which is fantastic. Everyone should see. Neon Demon, and the latest Wish Upon. Have you heard about this Wish Upon movie? It's basically Final Destination with, like, wishes. This girl finds this, like, magic.
So, like, Wishmaster plus Final Destination?
Yeah, except there's no, like, djinn.
Okay.
Like, physical djinn. So, yeah, she makes wishes, and obviously, like, bad things come out. That's not
the one you're thinking of either?
No.
Now I know what it is, though. Blue Underground's the one I was thinking of, but there's another one. Full Moon Productions.
Full Moon.
For Full Moon Pictures. That's the other one.
Ah, yes. So, yeah, this Once Upon, or Wish Upon movie is PG-13, and the entire premise is about people dying.
They just don't say fuck a lot, that's all.
No, but there's barely any blood in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just does not make sense. Why would you make this movie and make it PG-13? So, obviously, the movie failed. And it's a big part of why this production studio, or this studio's closing its production division.
That's too bad.
Because it just, like, completely bombed. But I guess we're getting a director's cut R-rated version
of Wish Upon?
Of Wish Upon that is probably going to be millions times better than this fucking bullshit PG-13.
I don't necessarily
garbage.
think that it being PG-13 would have made it bad, though. You could make a good horror movie with PG-13. You could make a good psychological thriller out of PG-13.
Not that focuses on deaths, like gruesome deaths.
Oh, I'm figuring it just like, okay, so it's not like, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not like...
So it's not like people dying and their deaths being creepy. It's the fact it's how they're dying. It's the gross, like the.
It's the Final Destination, like wacky, crazy ways people can die.
Yeah.
And if you censor that takes away every element of what makes those movies entertaining.
So basically, every death is the device coming to kill the person, and it's like, oh, and then
cuts away. Maybe you get a like blood splatter on the wall, but probably not, because I don't know if PG-13 can have blood splatters on walls.
I think only like a quarter of a bucket full of blood.
You have to have a little, either a pint or a liter. I don't know if that's in the same metrics.
Yeah. So, do you think we should keep a rating system like this, or do you think we should just take the rating system and throw it out and make people do research?
I think with the way things are going, with people consuming more media digitally at their own leisure, on their own devices, it doesn't really make sense anymore. Like, you can put parental locks on your devices.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, like...
But parents don't know they can do that half the time.
Sure,
but I'm just saying, I mean, I don't really care.
I mean, if that's the case, then is it really going to stop a kid from watching an R-rated movie if their parents aren't paying attention anyway?
Exactly.
So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, does it make sense? And then what do you do then to help with the research? Like, if a parent is being proactive, I mean, what do you do? Do you just watch
do you
it first?
Want your kid to watch a movie about people getting killed?
Yeah, I mean, Wish Upon. Oh, is that a documentary about Jiminy Cricket? When you wish upon a star, let's watch. Oh my God.
I mean, trailers aren't a perfect overall showing of what the movie's going to be, but you should be able to get a general sense of
You know
if
you
a
could
movie
do
is
a rating. Instead of a rating, just put genre markers on them. Horror movie.
yeah.
Sports movie.
And then you get movies like The Conjuring, which are all PG-13, and there's nothing
you would just
really.
put shit on those.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even
I
write
would.
shit. You would just you would smear shit
Yeah.
on those movies. What's that movie? Well, it's shit, obviously.
Yep. Alex Kurtzman, who is one of the people heading up the Dark Universe for Universal, their whole Universal Monster Revival, doesn't quite know if there's a future for this universe, and has a lot to do with The Mummy
Because it
not
bombed.
being too great. Yeah. I think we still have Bride of Frankenstein coming up Valentine's Day 2018, I want to say. And that could be good. Like, I think they could do something sort of fresh with that. It depends. I don't know. If it goes along the lines
Dracula
of The
Untold
Mummy.
flopped. The Mummy flopped. Just stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you release
They're doing
two
the wrong
duds.
thing, though. That's the...
Yeah,
like,
you
you're
release
making them
two
into
duds.
action movies.
Yeah, they're going after that Marvel Universe buck.
Yeah.
Stop
I mean,
it.
This is a horror monster universe. Like, don't make it action movies.
Yeah.
That's the entire problem. People that want to go see these movies want horror movies. They don't want frickin' Tom Cruise jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah, I saw The Mummy the first time when it was The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. And those were all right because people weren't expecting a monster movie. They were
But it was a
expecting
good
a
monster
fun
movie,
yeah.
yeah.
They were expecting a fun like Indiana Jones type
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser doing one-liners.
And it was it actually called The Mummy? Was that what the movie was called with
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser?
Yep.
And it wasn't touted as being a remake of The Mummy.
Right.
Or was it? Was it?
I don't think it was.
I never
No.
got that feeling from it, but
And not to say that in the mainstream, like, they really touted The Mummy being like a
but those
remake.
movies did good. They did
The
fine.
Brendan Fraser
yeah,
ones
the Brendan
did,
Fraser,
yeah.
well, the first one. I don't know the second one, and then the Scorpion King knockoffs were just.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that fucking 3D animation?
Oh, there's gifs of that where it's just beautiful,
The Rock.
beautiful. Yep.
In any case, yeah, I would say just stop.
Mm.
Just shit can Bride of Frankenstein because it's gonna be bad. And
What do you think about doing like a series instead, like on HBO?
Well,
Like, get away from the Hollywood big budget action.
so just
Garbage.
make a movie on with HBO.
No, make a series that has all these elements
I see where you're going with this. Now here's what I'm thinking because
and get Josh Hartnett
what
and call it.
is his hair gonna be like this off the backs of his ears?
No,
Oh, no.
there was a show.
What was it called? I don't remember it.
Oh man, see, this is the brain fart moment. No,
But here's what I want. I want Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, as a HBO TV special or TV series. You know what I'm saying? So and then follow the damn book, and do Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula on HBO. I'm right. Do that.
you should.
Or on Netflix. Netflix can put out good. Netflix doesn't have good movies that have a lot of good selection of movies right now. But they do some
They
fucking
have good
awesome
series.
shit. Yeah.
Yes, they have good TV shows.
And
Do you call them TV shows anymore,
yeah, because you watch them on TV and their shows.
or do you call them series?
TV series, TV shows.
Whatever,
care.
semantics. We love semantics.
But yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see them get like an episodic treatment. Once the first season's Dracula, second season's Frankenstein, third season's A Creature from Black Lagoon, fourth season's Wolfman. And you just boom, maybe like three to 6 episodes, about an hour apiece. and try to capture those original stories, and then just not modernize them as in setting, but just in techniques and stuff.
Sure.
I would leave them in their current settings though, like in the the whenever they were set in the books. I think Bram Stoker's Dracula is set in the late 1800s. I want to say.
Huh. I don't know. Look up Josh Hartnett's IMDb and find out what that show is, because it's gonna drive me nuts.
When about when did it come out?
It'll be recent, because the third season wasn't that long ago. But Alien Isolation is getting a VR, or it has a VR mod, and you can play it in VR, which is awesome because that game would lend itself perfectly to VR.
I like this.
If you never played Alien Isolation, it captures the feel of the Alien movie, the original to be specific, just wonderfully.
Penny Dreadful.
Yeah. Penny Dreadful, of course.
Yeah, is that VR coming out on PS4 though?
I don't think so.
Oh, then I don't give a shit.
No.
Because I don't have $1,200 to build a new computer to make something that could run Oculus or that other one. So I don't care about
Vive.
Vive. I can't. Like, I'd love to get into it, but I can't. I can't. There's a price wall there that I just can't overcome. So fucking A. What do you do? I'll play what I can get on the PSVR. That was more affordable.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that it was more affordable. There's some. It's like locked at 7. Like the graphics aren't exactly the best. Have you tried Farpoint yet?
Not yet.
Try it out.
Yeah. And last but not least, my girl, Emma Roberts, returning to American Horror Story.
What do you think Famke's gonna say about when you saying that?
I don't know. What is Naomi Watts gonna say?
Yeah, you got too many my girls.
My girls. So yeah, American Horror Story Cult. I've got meh feelings on it. As long as Sarah Paulson and the other dude, can't think of his name right now, but as long as they're on it, I'm going to watch it.
I did see that Kathy Bates isn't coming back though.
No, and I don't. I mean, I like Kathy Bates purely from
The
Misery.
I call it the hobbling.
Hobbling. From Misery and what is that movie? Starts with a D.
The Waterboy.
No. Why?
D-Y?
No, D. Starts with a D.
Is it more recent?
Diabolique.
Oh.
Yeah. Good movie. So, I don't know. We'll see. This one's all about the political election, that kind of deal. Like, we don't have enough of that.
Oh, so this season I'm really not going to watch.
Yeah. But that's it. That's it for news that I care to talk about.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Let's get into this episode's movie of the week is 2001's Ichi the Killer.
I remembered I had a dog once when I was in elementary school. This Oyaji next door, he had a German Shepherd and he was always making fun of my dog. I pray for something to happen.
This movie hurts my brain.
Yeah, I like could not comprehend what just happened
I mean,
when we watched it.
so like when you're watching it, there's nothing that really indicates to you that there's actually a bit of time traveling going on.
Yeah, because it starts out pretty plain. Like, you're like, okay, so you've got sort of trippy visual elements right off the bat with like a bike ride, or it's a camera on a bicycle. Like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily have to do with anything, but it's all like blurred
It's the
effects.
intros. It's got
Yeah.
the names coming up and whatever. It's the
Yep.
intro credits.
And then it gets to like a mob hangout.
Yep.
And what are they doing there?
Arguing about putting a boss, putting somebody who's surveilling while the boss is having sex with the chick.
That's right, like putting a guard outside the door.
Yep, and I think that is set in.
So let's get to all the time
I
travel
can't
stuff
figure out-
later on. Let's get through
The next part is a guy beating a woman and trying to have sex with her, and then having sex with her.
Yeah, well, so one of the guys at this mob hangout gets a call, and it's their kid saying like, "When are you gonna come home?" That kind of thing.
And they're crying, obviously, and they're like, "Dad, I'll call you back." Hangs up on this person.
Yep. So yeah, then we get the beating of the girl, an eventual rape of the girl, and we see
Yeah, I mean, like, she's a prostitute,
yeah,
and this guy's just, I don't know, just beating the shit out of her.
and we see a guy standing outside the window, like peering in on them.
Yep. And he
then-
kicks a pot by accident.
Yep.
And the guy that was banging the chick comes over. "Who's out there?" And he looks out there and he finds spearmint on a leaf.
Nice old puddle of
spum. And it's dripping off the leaf, and it's got a nice puddle on the ground. And then the title of the movie rises from the semen, Ichi the Killer.
awesome. You don't see that very often.
You don't see that ever. And
All right,
I mean, that
yeah,
is the
that's
most
fair.
unique intro to a movie I've ever seen in my life. To have the credits raised from the ground beneath this pool of semen.
Yes. So then we get the
The death of a boss of the Anjo clan or something.
well,
like
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't show it though.
Nope,
It
it's-
just
it
cuts
happens
to
off
like
screen.
a van full of guys. One of them is craving to shoot up heroin, and it turns out they're the cleaning crew
That. Yep. For Ichi.
for
Killer.
Ichi the Killer.
For Ichi the Killer.
Yep.
And they go up there and they find a big mess of organs and blood.
all over the walls.
Like the first guy walks in and slips on it and he just lays there. Okay. Well, let's get to work.
They say I thought they said something about like this is worse than last time
Yeah.
or something to that effect. Yeah.
Yep.
Then we meet Sweet Cheeks, as I like to call him,
Oh, is that what you call him?
Kakihara.
Kakihara.
He's got
2 rings in his lips here, which
Yep.
holds his, like, he's got these scars right here.
yeah. Imagine like the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, except yeah, he's got piercings
That hold his mouth shut.
Yeah. And one of the first things he does, he's smoking a cigarette.
He blows it out of his cheeks.
Both sides, yeah. Really cool effect.
Yeah. This movie's got some effects in it. It is definitely from
CGI.
2001. Yep, CGI. But you know why I'm okay with it in this movie? Because the movie is so off the fucking wall to begin with.
Yes. It doesn't even like phase
It almost
you.
seems on purpose.
Yeah.
That the like CG blood is just stupid terrible and like it's awesome.
You know, the blood wasn't CGI.
When it's dripping from that ceiling,
Okay, so maybe there,
and then
but
and then the scene where he goes and he kills a bunch of guys that will later on, but that was and it's just squirting out of the doorway.
yep.
But
And we meet another. So they all gather around. It's like a meeting to figure out a boss has gone missing.
Yep.
And there's
So that boss's clan's there, and some rival clans are also there too, because they're trying to figure out what happened. And everybody thinks that he just ran off with the prostitute and 3 million yen.
Yes.
Except for Kakihara, who thinks no, he's still alive, or he's and they think
somebody took him.
Yeah, he thinks somebody took him, and then as they get deeper into that idea, they're all like, well, he's probably already dead. He goes, nope, I know he's still alive for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And
one of the bosses, just because it's like he shows up multiple times, but like he's got, I don't know if it's vertigo, what it is, but he's all like wobbly, and there's like a bending sort of spring sound effect that always plays whenever he's around.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know his story, but
this movie's got some weird sound cues like that for him. And then anytime Ichi's on the screen, it's like that weird, crazy, rapid jazz drumming.
Yeah, like fusion jazz, like insanity. But then we meet.
It's probably Phil Collins that played the drums for that.
Then we meet Karen, who is, I don't know, is she another prostitute?
Yeah, she works at the brothel.
Okay. But she speaks English.
Mm-hmm. So she goes in and out of English and Japanese.
Yeah, and she speaks English very well.
Watch this movie with the originals, with the English or the Japanese.
We had to turn the English dub off just because it was so terrible.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But like, I want to watch it with that really bad dub because it was like the guy was talking like, "Hey man, don't do that. That's not a good idea." It almost seemed like it was purposefully.
Yeah.
Just I'm gonna have to watch it like that. Yeah. I might do that tonight. Just to maybe understand that movie a little bit better. I mean, we're already barely piecing this together, even chronologically.
Yeah.
But.
And Kakihara is talking to Karen about because it seemed like Karen may be the boss's that's gone missing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so Kakihara basically, I don't know, does he or Karen say, well, if he would have run off, then
he would have ran off with you.
Yes.
I think Kakihara says it to her.
Okay.
And I love that they're having this conversation while she's with a client. So this guy is just sitting there next to them, and you know.
Yeah. Then we meet Gigi, who at first, I mean, almost I would say at least half the movie, he's just kind of like this side character that is always around but not really a part of what's going on.
But he ends up being the boss of his own clan or whatever.
Yeah, well, that eventually turns out to be what he is.
Yeah, the feeling I got from him was like he was the go-to guy to get Ichi. So if you wanted Ichi for a job, you went to Gigi.
Sure. But yeah, at first, like he seems like he's just like almost like a civilian. Yeah, like he's going about his day-to-day base.
Yeah, he's got very basic, and he seems to have like a. It seems at first like he's got like Ichi might be a son or something, or a brother or something, because he seems to like care for him at first.
Yeah.
Oh, and but he does like care for him technically, like he takes care of him, but like
right.
But the emotion seemed that he also cared for him.
And he's very unassuming. Like he's not. All the Yakuza are wearing suits and all that kind of stuff, and he's just kind of in plain clothes. Yeah. Like nothing really stands out about him. So we meet Gigi. Then we get a torture scene with, I think he's just like someone in the. I don't think he's a boss.
Is he the guy that's being hung on the?
Yes,
that is, I think,
Suzuki,
and he is like the right hand man of another boss.
Okay,
and so that boss comes in. So he's torturing this other guy.
Yeah, he's hanging on suspension hooks.
Yep, and
which I don't think that was effects. I think that may.
We'd have to look into it.
Actually have been happening. I don't know.
But then he gets pierced in his cheeks and underneath his chin, and this as they torture
him.
Yeah,
so that's
information.
Yeah, Kakihara seems that's to be like his weapon of choice. He has like 2
needles,
big needles, because he whips them out all the time. But yeah, he's putting them through his cheeks, through his
Well, the boss from that
Chin.
clan is pissed about it, and it ends up not being correct. He didn't steal the boss of the Anjo clan.
Well, before that boss comes in, Kakihara is cooking some shrimp in some oil.
Oh, yeah, and he's pouring it on him and shit.
Yep, and he takes the
yep.
oil and dumps it all over him. His skin is melting. His face is all twisted.
Yeah.
And so then his boss comes in and is like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
Suzuki had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. So then the other boss, then there's a scene with the other boss, and to make amends for this, Kakihara, feeling bad, cuts his own tongue out and gives it to him.
Yep.
Like cuts the tip of his tongue out and gives it to him. He can still talk and shit, but he cuts the tip of his tongue off.
Yep. He
and
has
gives it to
a
that
pierced
boss.
tongue.
And the boss like,
Yeah.
it's like, woo.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has no problem just cuts it
Right,
off.
right. So then we get Ichi at the bordello.
Or when he's talking to, is it Sailor, that prostitute? Where
One that got beat.
Yes. Okay, so this is also another flashback at this point. So, yep, he goes back and, her face is all whatever.
Yep,
and
yep.
he's like talking about how he saw that. And she goes, I wish he wouldn't hit me, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'll kill him for you. She goes, you would do that? And he goes, yeah. And then just sort of like slams her head onto his yoke.
Yeah.
But then, but do we get to see? Is that when we get to him killing this dude then?
What dude?
The guy that keeps beating Sailor?
Oh, no. So then Karen and Kakihara are basically on the hunt. Like, they're looking for this boss. And so they go to various places. They go to a lady's, I don't know what she is or what she does, but he, like, breaks her fingers, and there's that.
Oh, I think she's another, like, brothel-y place.
Yeah, okay. Like, she runs one?
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah, he just, like, takes her hand and just goes, bleh, breaks them all the way back.
Yeah, and like, it shows everything in this movie. Like, all the...
Yeah, it doesn't cut away from anything.
No cuts, like...
Nipples.
Yeah.
But, so they're hunting the boss down. I mean, they run into a few people, and every time they get a guy, they end up torturing him. I think my favorite was the guy in the TV. Are we at that point yet?
Oh, well...
I'm so lost in this. I'm so lost as to what points we're at.
Yeah, because eventually it just kind of gets into, like...
A cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
See, because when they get the guy in the TV, I think, is the guy that spills the beans. He goes, oh, it was Ichi that did this, and now he's coming after you.
Yeah.
Then you find the TV guy with hooks and shit all over his face, and he's dead in an alley stacked up with other TVs.
Yeah.
So what they did was they pulled his knees to his chest, so he's holding himself like this, and then they put a CRT TV over his head and took the screen out or something, so he's stuck in there.
Yeah.
And like taped him up.
Well, no, they say that he was already in there because he was like all drugged out, like he's a heroin addict. So yeah, they say they found him in the TV before they even showed up. So
maybe he was trying to hide.
I don't know.
But there's that guy.
We get Ichi confronting Sailor. Was that her name? The prostitute, like, in her room, because it's another time when the guy is beating her and raping her again.
Yeah.
But this time, Ichi
goes in the room.
And
he kills him.
Cuts him in half. So Ichi's weapon of choice is...
blades on the back of his heels.
Yes.
And he does, like, kicks where they come down and slice you in two.
Yep. So that's what happens to the guy, the pimp.
He wears this suit too, like it's like you know what it reminds me of? Like it looks like baseball catcher equipment, but then the back has got like that one on it, and it goes down like a spinal column thing. It almost looks like he's like Isaac Clarke from
Dead Space. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, he cuts the guy in half, and wonderful CGI work, splits in two, and then flops to the ground.
Then Sailor wakes up and he's like, I killed him for you.
Yeah. He's got a boner because that's one of the things Ichi gets.
Yeah.
Ichi gets a boner when girls are getting beat and raped.
Yep.
So,
God damn it.
thinking that she's going to be all thankful because he thinks that's what she wanted him to do is kill the guy. But no.
She goes after him with a baseball bat.
And he reacts.
Yep, and cuts her throat.
And
then you get
spraying
you get
like
that like crazy, like you putting your thumb over the tip of a hose.
Yeah.
With blood.
Yeah. And she's dead. Yep.
But this is one of those scenes where I thought that Gigi cared about him because he comes back from, and this must still be in the past, forever, but he comes back and he sees that one of his shoes has blood on it, and he goes in and he sees, Ichi with the thing over his head, and he's not even playing his game.
Yeah.
The game's just playing for him, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, Ichi," and then I think kind of like whacks him, tells him to get a handle of himself, and. But yeah.
And then he says he doesn't want to kill anymore.
Yeah. So he's losing that killer instinct. So what we find out here is that he's got memories of a girl being raped, and this is why he does these killings. Because anybody that bullies people, he wants to kill, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
But he's losing that killer instinct, that killer urge. He doesn't want to kill anymore.
Well, because also he's being told. Well, sort of his deal is he wants to find the bullies that bullied him.
Yeah.
But all that he gets are like supposedly other bullies
that are even worse.
Yeah, that's what they keep on telling him, or Gigi keeps on telling him.
So what we find out then is that Gigi's actually putting like false memories into him and whatever. So you get this goofy. You don't know what's the truth because what Gigi tells Karen at one point is that Ichi killed his parents and that he then used his. Ichi's like mental status and put false memories in to get him to kill for him, kind of a thing.
Kakihara ends up getting expelled.
Yep, from
the Yakuza.
Yep.
And also same.
But
while
everybody
this
leaves
is all,
with him though. That's the thing.
Yeah, because he's just a badass. Like
he's got blonde hair and.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, there's two people extorting Suzuki. Like they visit him in the hospital in like almost like Bushido.
Well, they're wearing
costumes.
Not Bushido, but not Bushido costumes, but geisha costumes.
Okay, yeah.
Like
they're like those clear masks that
with,
distort
on
the face. Yeah,
it's weird, but they're like geisha masks.
Yeah.
And they're about to chop his head off, and then they get a phone call.
And they're extorting him for something.
It's hard to find.
Information on
maybe where Ichi is or something, or not Ichi, but I know at one point they're trying to find this guy named Ryu Long, which is Gigi's guy, and so maybe that's who they're. I don't know. It's so hard to follow because then at one point, Kakihara gets these two crooked police detectives, and they're looking for Ryu Long. And what they do is they go and find Mew Mew, which is Ryu's like main prostitute, and bring her in, and they're beating her up and whatever, and then
they're pulling her nipples with
like
clamps,
and
then he takes a blade and slides it across the table and
cuts the nipples off.
Nipple jerky.
And then that's pleasant. But then the other guy goes in. He goes, okay, time to figure out where this Long guy is. So he puts on these like puppy ears, and then starts smelling her vagina. And goes, well, I know where he is.
Yep.
And like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because she's apparently putting up with all this torture. Like, she's not cracking at all.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, like, you're getting softer. No, she's just too tough.
Yeah,
she's apparently really tough. And actually, when they figure it out when the other detective figures out by smelling her vagina, which is...
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
They are... So they end up being crooked cops.
Yeah, crooked detectives that seem to know Kakihara from other things, and because Kakihara's like, this brings back memories or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And but as they're leaving, Mew Mew is like, I'm sorry Ryu, I'm sorry, so she feels bad, and then there's this other reoccurring character is Kakeno, Takeshi, and his son. And he's the guy that gets the phone call in the beginning. And then you find out about his son, and he tells his son that he might not make it back from one of these missions or whatever. But Kakeno gets mad and starts kicking this girl and kills her by accident. I think he went a little crazy, but...
I can't remember.
It's just weird.
If because she is dead at some point. But
well, then we get another scene. I mean, these are so out of order, but we get another scene where Ichi sees Kakeno's son Takeshi getting bullied, and he stops those bullies from bullying him, and he teaches him a little karate. Then you get the scene of Ichi being bullied by that brothel leader. He's being kicked, and Kakeno has a flashback of when he's being beat up. And the Yakuza take care of him, and so he takes care of Ichi. So he's actually helping Ichi out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize that that's the guy he's looking for. Because at this point they're looking for Ichi because, he's coming after them. But
right.
So he doesn't even realize that that's Ichi. And then we get to the end where you get a cat and mouse game. So those three detectives figure out where he is. But they leave the one detective behind. Ichi shows up and kills him. And then his brother or the other detective goes, you know what? I had the same feeling when my older brother died.
So we skipped the whole part where Gigi gets Karen.
Oh, fuck, yes. Yeah, I forgot about that.
To go pretend that she's... What is the name that the schoolgirl that got attacked
it started with
back
a T?
in...
A T.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is.
But then she asked Gigi, are you manipulating me? Is she getting brainwashed?
She has a memory of that too. So you don't know what's actually true anymore at this point.
Right.
Because this is where he tells the story about, he killed his parents, blah, blah, blah. So maybe he didn't kill his parents, and maybe he did witness the rape, and it did fuck him up.
Yeah, but we also get, when Karen goes to Ichi and is, pretending to be that
the girl from the memory
person from the memory, in some of the flashbacks Karen is the girl in the flashback, so it kind of makes you think
that was her,
or Gigi is manipulating her and she does actually believe she is this person.
Yeah.
But when Ichi starts to freak out and thinks that Karen or this girl actually wants him to attack her,
she abandons.
And then she's like, no,
I'm not this person. Stop. Too late.
Yep. Ichi
cuts her leg off and then cuts her throat.
Yep.
And then you get blood everywhere.
Yep. So coming back,
then we go back. He kills the one detective.
Yes.
The other detective gets this feeling because it's happened before. And then, no, wait. Before we get to that, there's another guard. There's two guards, the two detectives, and Kakahara. The other guard goes downstairs.
Oh, the big one, yeah.
The bigger guard goes downstairs and runs into Gigi.
That's right.
And he's gonna, what are you gonna do? And then Gigi takes his weird carpenter suit off, and they superimpose his head on a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he just breaks his neck, and then they throw his body. He throws his body against a door. Then that's when they go out to look for him, but they leave the one brother behind. Ichi kills him. They both feel it, so they both run back, find the other brother killed, and then Kakeno runs off.
Yeah.
And finds Takeshi, says stay here. And then how's the other brother die?
I thought that...
Does he just catch him? Ichi just catch him?
Yeah, I can't.
Or
no. Ichi goes into the room and there's the blood splatter out the door and
Oh, there's that. That's when I forgot about that part. That's where they send Ichi to kill that whole group of dudes.
Oh, that's right.
But he kills the other cop somehow. Yeah. I can't remember.
But then Gigi also imprints the whatever that Takeshi is Ichi's brother.
Is that how he did? He did that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is they chase each other up onto the roof. And he kind of corners Kakihara, but then Kakeno comes out and Ichi thinks it's his brother,
Hmm.
And he's like, why? And then Kakeno shoots Ichi in the leg 3 times, or whatever, and then he cuts his throat.
Yeah.
But Takeshi sees it. His dad get killed, and his dad kind of crawls over to him, and he's the neck's bleedy or whatever, and
No, I'm thinking of not Takeshi isn't Ichi's
Takeshi's
brother. It's Takeshi's
Kakeno.
dad.
Yeah, Kakeno. I think his name was Kakeno.
Right.
And then so Kakeno's dead. Takeshi's looking at him. Ichi's going back towards Kakihara. He pulls his needles out of the snap, but no, that after he was about to fight, but then then that interruption. But then Ichi's just crying, and he's just laying on the ground crying, and Kakihara comes over to like, we got to do our fight now, and he's got his needles like, come on, man, let's go, and he's just crying on the ground, and he doesn't know what to do, so he walks away, and then he sees Takeshi, and then Takeshi runs over and starts kicking Ichi for killing his dad.
Yeah.
And Kakihara's like, what the hell? Then he just stabs himself in the ears so he doesn't have to hear the crying anymore.
Right.
He stabs himself in the ears, but like the sound's getting louder. And when he's done doing it, he looks over and he sees that Ichi has killed the boy now, and he's holding his head. Then he charges at Kakihara, does like a sweep kick over. Kakihara blocks it, but not before a part of the blade gets into his forehead. And then he like ends up getting thrown over this railing, lands on another railing, loses his balance and falls, and goes, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" As he's falling to his death. Then he's like, "Ichi!" Then he hits the ground.
Yep.
And then Gigi goes over and inspects Kakihara, and that wound he took to his head is not there. So he imagined that whole attack and everything.
Yeah, and then it gets back up to the roof, and Takeshi is still alive.
Yep. Takeshi's still alive. And he was kicking Ichi, I think.
Yeah. And then we get the end.
Which is a scene of just kids running around. And then you see...
it slowly, like, kind of pans back, and then you see legs dangling. And eventually it gets the full body, and it's Gigi.
It's Gigi.
Hanging there.
Yep. And then you see a boy turn around, and it's like a older-looking version of Takeshi. And then the movie's over.
Yep.
What a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Well, on the back of the DVD box, I had said 90 minutes. And that's why we were going with that. It's like, only 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That movie was 2 hours long.
Yep. And I totally forgot to do this at the start. So
The
let
names?
me do it now. Yeah. This movie's starring Tadanobu. Maybe this was a mistake. Tadanobu Asano as Kakihara, who is in a bunch of stuff, like the Thor movies.
Yeah, he plays Hogun in the Thor movies.
And he was actually in a movie we were going to watch.
Yeah.
We had two picks we were going to pick.
And we went with Ichi the Killer instead.
Yeah.
But he's also in Tokyo Zombie.
Yeah. Nyao Omori as Ichi. Shinya Isukamoto as Gigi, and Pauline's son as Karen. It was written by Sakichi Sato, based on a manga by Hideo Yamamoto, and directed by Takashi Miike, who is responsible for
lots and
everything.
Lots. I mean, yep. Check out his stuff.
Yeah, Audition is a good place to start. It's not quite as mind-bending as Ichi the Killer, but it's still kind of got a little...
Ichi the Killer requires a few watches, I think. Because like, I didn't understand what was going on. And I went and looked at the plot, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
No, because it's really not... And I think part of it is the language barrier. Like, just... Because you have to know the characters.
There's probably cues in that, too, that a Japanese person would understand. Like, a Japanese person might understand that was a flashback. Yeah. Whereas you and I missed it completely.
Right.
That beginning scene was a flashback. Had no idea. But a Japanese person, that might be something that you would see in more Japanese films.
Sure.
You know, like, they might understand that that's a flashback, whereas we wouldn't.
Well, and there's also characters that show up in different timelines or time periods that I don't know.
Yeah.
In any case, yeah, you need to watch it
But the thing,
a couple times.
But
at
is
least.
that is the operative phrase there, though. You need to watch it.
Yeah.
I will give it a seal of approval bronze for me, only because it's so goddamn fucking confusing. You know, like
that's it's not very
characters
coherent.
are fun to watch. The directorial, like the picture, like the way that the shots are done are cool. The music is good. Everything's about as good except for the fact that I had trouble following it.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I wouldn't go above a bronze for me.
And we are kind of cheating. It's not necessarily horror, but it does have great body horror.
It's considered a crime horror.
Sure.
Like a crime horror thing. It's got good body horror in it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's got psychological monsters. I mean, Ichi is a psychological monster.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it's good though. I like the premise. I'd like to see the manga even, see what it does with that. But
yeah, it's
pretty brutal on some aspects, you know. But it's a fun watch, and I've seen it like a couple times now. I just still. But the problem is I put so much time in between each viewing that I never remember really going into it. I remember scenes. I remember nipples.
Yeah,
I remember the blood.
And you mentioned it. You mentioned it like when we started watching it. Like it is a really big misconception that Kakihara is Ichi because he's on the cover of the movie.
On all of the covers of all those DVDs.
Yeah.
You say Ichi the Killer, and what you see is Kakihara.
Yeah. So I mean, the first time I tried watching it, which was years ago, but yeah, I thought Ichi the Killer was the guy with the weird fucked up face. Yeah. So I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I was expecting like it to be about Kakihara doing crazy shit.
And it was. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it is. But that's not Ichi the Killer.
He's not Ichi.
Yeah.
So it's a fun watch. If you watch it, I would say watch it and then wait a week and watch it again.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
But I'd give it a bronze, like a high bronze. I mean, I'd almost give it a silver. I bet you if I watched it again, I'd give it a silver.
It's got great effects. Yeah. Like if that's all you're going for, like you're gonna get your
you're gonna have
worth.
Fun. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun with this movie
for sure.
Just try to make sure you find the the uncut version of it and all that, because I'm sure the cut versions are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I hate that fucking shit. Don't cut movies.
No.
Just stop it. I wish they would like do that. Like, don't cut. Give it an NC-17 rating and say that and
unrated. Yeah.
It's like and then put it in a movie theater. Say this is after 10 o'clock. This is the version we play.
Sure.
If you want to see the cut version, here you go, pussy. Now here's the good version. It's like here's the fucked up version. Have fun with that. But I don't know.
All right, get at us on Twitter at Scream Fiends. Let us know what you thought of Ichi the Killer. If you hated it, let us know. If you loved it, let us know. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can donate if you want, but you do not have to. This and the audio version on iTunes, Google Play are free of charge for your pleasure. Like I said, we are on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you found us. If you're on iTunes and Google Play, search for us on YouTube. 7voltmedia.com is where you can find all of our content and the content our other people of 7volt Media do. 0xp Podcast is the video game podcast where we're actually supposed to talk about video games. Freedom Anime and Professional Wrestling is the anti-Seinfeld show. Tower Radio, if you're looking forward to Destiny 2, that is the show for you because that is all Destiny all the time. What else we got? The Electric Hour is the political show. Yeah, listen at your own risk. What else is there?
Patreon. Did you already say that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, get your Scream Fiends postcards. They're going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Frame them.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to when we get famous, you're going to have this.
Yeah.
You know?
Tell your grandkids. Sell that.
Oh, I used to listen to the Scream Fiends back in my day, and they would ramble on about nothing.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking idiots. Don't listen to that show.
All right, from us at Scream Fiends, so long and farewell.